Hello and welcome to the morning news here on Newday on TV3. My name is Beatrice Edu. Coming up in the next few minutes. SAC CEOs and board members who flout no travel directive. Imani Africa urges President Mahama. We'll bring you all the details. Also on the program, leaders of a striking civil and local government staff association of Ghana, CLOGSAG, fail to appear before National Labour Commission as the strike enters day 3 today. And much later on the program, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman reaffirms government's commitment to strengthening road infrastructure. My name is Beatrice Edu. Thank you very much for joining us on the program this morning. Now, leaders of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana, CLOGSAG, on Wednesday failed to appear before the National Labour Commission, NLC, to address concerns surrounding its members or its ongoing industrial action. The Commission has consequently scheduled the meeting, giving the association another opportunity to appear before it on Wednesday, the 18th of March.
We expected them to come, but they didn't come. And they never also gave any excuse or any reason why they didn't come.
But I saw the head of civil service and also the federal within your meeting. What did you discuss with them?
Right, so the head of civil service represented the employer, that is government, and he was accompanied by officials of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. You know that in the first letter that we wrote to them, we asked them to appear. First to rescind the decision, that was on the 5th of March, and to appear. So today, because they didn't appear and they are still on strike, you know, when a party is on strike or has instituted an industrial action, the substantive matter cannot be heard. The first one said it constituted an illegality if they embark on it. Now the declaration has been made, which is a kind of ruling that the action that they've taken is illegal. And so we are moving step by step.
So you'll give them a second chance to appear before you somewhere next?
Yes, so they've been asked to call it off immediately and appear next week, Wednesday.
In case government is able to finalize their issues with them and conclusions are reached, will it be necessary to appear before the commission?
Once you've been summoned, you have to come. And if you have resolved, then you come and announce it. So you can't say that you are staying out. So you have to come and say that, yes, we have resolved it, and that is it.
Them not appearing before you, would you describe that as a matter of bad faith?
Well, you know, the commission has been established by law to deal with these matters. And so you are under obligation once you are invited to come, and you have to appear. But then they decided not to come without any reason.
The president of Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo, says that the government should sack and surcharge board members and CEOs of state-owned enterprises if they fail to comply with President John Mahama's directive to immediately halt all international travel funded by the state. Noura Mohammed has the rest of the story.
On March 5, President Mahama directed the boards of state-owned enterprises and public institutions to immediately halt international travel for training programs, conferences, retreats, and study tours funded by the state. This directive is part of the government's efforts to ensure the prudent use of public funds. While acknowledging the value of exposure to global best practices and professional development, the presidency says the increasing frequency and cost of such trips have raised concerns. The chief executive officer of think tank Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo, weighs in.
When I heard it, I was a bit surprised that this practice actually still goes on. You know, I thought before he came to power the second time, he did sound a similar warning, if you recall. It appears to be, it's been observed more in breach than it's supposed to be observed. And I worry. There must be a rule that must be set that if anybody wants to travel, just as the president's laid out, what is the purpose of the travel? If the travel is not going to, basically some value for money analysis ought to be done, right? And then the question will be asked, would this bring benefit to the organization? If no, well, then you don't go ahead and do it. Right? So, and who has to determine that? Either the CEO of the particular establishment or whoever is leading the establishment. And those reports must be sent to the presidency at the end of each year. At the end of each quarter. And SIGA must be responsible for that as well.
Franklin Cudjoe called for the immediate removal and prosecution of any chief executive officer or board member of a state-owned enterprise should they flout the president's directive.
And maybe this time around it should be tied to the fact that if somebody is found wanting, if somebody breaks that rule, the person should either be sacked or be surcharged to pay the money. Actually sacked and be surcharged as well to pay the extra money. I mean, but you can't just be approving monies for programs that could easily be done here, and this practice that it's actually insulting to the Ghanaian taxpayer, you know. So I'm surprised that this practice still goes on, you know. I really am surprised. I think the CEOs must be charged of all these entities, ministries, whatever. Should be charged that if anybody is found flouting the rule, the person must be surcharged and sacked at the same time. I think that's the only way we can get some, we can get people respecting the rules. Otherwise, it's just an advice.
The government directive, however, makes provision for exceptional circumstances where an international engagement deemed necessary cannot reasonably be conducted locally or through virtual means. Nura Mohammed, TV3 News, Accra.
Somewhere here, and the Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwame Govins Abuja, says the recent road works at the Tetekwashi interchange in Accra, which has been suspended temporarily, is being reviewed and work would resume soon. The minister, however, explained that the exercise could not be undertaken without restricting traffic because the beams involved are extremely heavy and could pose serious risks if proper safety measures are not enforced. The explanation when the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, visited his ministry.
The Roads and Highways Minister Kwame Govins Abuja emphasized that while such inconveniences are unavoidable, the projects are necessary to improve the country's road network in the long term.
A few days ago, we took a decision to, for instance, redirect traffic around Tetekwashi. We could carry out that exercise, the first phase, without the diversion, but it's risky, because we are launching beams that are very heavy and can actually crash articulated truck and kill people in it. But when we attempted the first night, we saw the negative impact. We quickly pulled back, and now today or tomorrow we'll have a review to see whatever strategy we will use. But whatever we do, it will still impede the flow of traffic.
He urged motorists and commuters to cooperate with authorities and remain patient while the works are completed.
We are just appealing to the public. We cannot do that work without you being ready to spend a little bit more time in traffic when you are traversing that corridor. It will have to be something that we can do together with the patience of everybody. We feel the pain you feel in that traffic. I drive through that traffic as well. My deputy, everybody drive through that traffic. We are capable of doing that within a few months so that we can get that done.
Briefing the Vice President on the current state of the road sector, ongoing reforms and key projects aimed at improving transportation across the country, Director for Monitoring and Evaluation at the Ministry of Roads and Highways, Engineer Francis Alija, disclosed that the ministry inherited significant challenges. He said despite the constraints, the ministry is working to improve the delivery of road infrastructure by focusing on durability, safety and value for money. The Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, reaffirmed government's commitment to strengthening the road infrastructure.
I hear the ministry on the anxiety of the public, on the types of roads they're looking for, and the speed with which they believe that the roads ought to have been fixed. I appreciate that. Those of us whose work normally takes us around the country, we know what it is like. If I live on a road where, there's dust 24/7, some of us will wonder, what does that do to the children? So I can understand the anxiety. We just want to plead for patience as we do the right things for all of us.
The visit by the Vice President formed part of efforts to engage key institutions and assess progress in the delivery of critical infrastructure across the country.
Now, calls are intensifying for criminal action against individuals and entities flagged for various financial infractions in the Special Auditor General's report into arrears of various ministries, departments and agencies as at the end of 2024. Former Auditor General Daniel Domlevo hopes that President Mahama will suspend implicated government officials even before prosecution commences. There's more in this News Desk report.
Government has saved some 21 billion cedis after an audit of 68.7 billion Ghana cedis in reported arrears across various ministries, departments and agencies as at end 2024. The Ghana Audit Service, working in partnership with EY and PwC, prevented the payment of 8 billion cedis for various reasons, including unsupported documentation, duplication, overstatements, already paid items, falsified store receipts, advice and no work done. Delivering a statement in Parliament, the Deputy Finance Minister, Thomas Ampem-Nyako, declared an end to systematic plunder of the public purse. For former Auditor General and anti-corruption campaigner Daniel Domelevo, the revelations in the report are disturbing but not surprising.
I wish that the President, as a matter of urgency, direct that all public officers who are involved in this be suspended and an investigation conducted to see their level of culpability in these offenses. If they are culpable, then they are dismissed. Before we go to court, administrative measures must be taken to say that there is zero tolerance for corruption.
Majority Leader Alexander Penyumarking has some concerns about what is really to blame for the duplications and irregularities.
I once served as a chair of the Roads Fund. I am happy to say that colleagues on both sides of the aisle were able to point how people present the same certificate and manipulate the system for the same payment. And there was a call on the agency to introduce an AI-powered software that would detect these things. Mr. Speaker, I hold a humble view that as political leaders, the time has come for us to sit around the table and fix the system.
Mr. Domelevo thinks otherwise.
These ministries, departments and agencies have accounting systems in place where their liabilities are recorded and every payment must be offsetted against it. If even it happens that one ministry's payment is made on its behalf by the central agency, maybe Ministry of Finance, the procedure is there that they are informed so that they can pass the necessary entries in their books.
Meanwhile, Parliament's Public Accounts Committee has been given 3 weeks to investigate the matter.
Now, the second state witness in the 49.1 million cedi cybersecurity deal involving former National Signals Bureau Director has told the Accra High Court that Kwabena Duboahin pre-financed special operations at the National Security. Kwabena Duboahin and his wife, Angela J. Boateng, are facing multiple charges, including stealing, money laundering and causing financial loss to the state. Lord Edwasari, our court affairs correspondent, brought us this report earlier.
In court on Wednesday, March 11, Samuel Atachia, while cross-examining the prosecution's second witness, Ruby Opukua Edumwa, sought to inform the court that the 49.1 million Ghana cedis for the purchase of the cybersecurity software was sanctioned by the late former National Security Coordinator, showing exhibits of 3 separate checks signed by both the late former National Security Coordinator, Joshua Tremi, and Kwabena Duboahin. The defense lawyer intimated that the monies were to finance special operations for the national security, to which the witness responded in the affirmative. The witness admitted to the court that during his tenure, the former National Signals Bureau Director, on many occasions, pre-financed special operations of the national security. She acknowledged that there had been occasions where national security staff had to embark on operational activities even before the funds were released, adding that on occasions where there were difficulties acquiring funds to finance the emergencies, Kwabena Duboahen stepped in. Prosecution's second witness, who is the head of finance at the National Signals Bureau, also told the court that different individuals, including Mildred Donko and the prosecution's first witness, Frank Ananidekpe, had delivered some of the pre-financed funds to her for operational purposes. The case has been adjourned to March 17 and 18 for continuation of the cross-examination of the prosecution's witness.
Now, the government says it will soon publish the names of individuals and companies that acquired state lands as part of sweeping reforms following a review of thousands of land lease applications. The review, conducted by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources in collaboration with the Lands Commission, has already led to the revocation of several public land lease applications. Officials say that the move is aimed at restoring transparency and ensuring value for money in the allocation of public lands.
Earlier this year, government suspended some services of the Lands Commission after a review of more than 8,000 public land applications uncovered irregularities in several transactions. Authorities say while completed transactions remain valid, all incomplete applications identified during the review have now been revoked. Officials warn that any individual who continues development on lands whose allocations were cancelled risks prosecution.
We said to you that we reviewed over 8,000 applications and some have been revoked. Those completed have not been revoked. What we are saying is that there is a need for the public to know who has acquired what, which company has bought what, and how much was paid.
As part of measures to promote transparency, the Lands Commission will also publish the names of individuals, companies, and organizations that acquired public lands during the review period.
This list will be made available on the official websites of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and the Lands Commission starting from next week.
Government is also introducing a new premium payment framework for public land leases.
Henceforth, any public land that will be leased to anybody, you must pay 70% upfront. This will bring us cash, this will bring us money. And then the 30% can now be spread over the lifespan of the lease.
Officials say the reform will ensure the state derives greater value from public lands and reduce opportunities for discretionary pricing.
Now, at just 13 years old, Rosemary's life changed forever. What began as persistent headache, something many people might dismiss as stress or fatigue, soon became a frightening medical crisis: chronic kidney disease. She is just one of the many teeming youth battling the disease in the country. A report by Sarah Apenkro.
Behind the statistics of kidney disease in Ghana are real stories. Stories of young lives like Rosemary's. After 2 weeks in coma, her diagnosis from doctors was devastating: chronic kidney disease. Both of her kidneys are severely damaged, and her survival depends on regular dialysis treatments as she waits for a life-saving transplant. For Rosemary, the last 5 years have been a delicate balance between staying alive and chasing her dreams. As a final year student at the West Africa Senior High School, the illness has taken more than just her strength.
Went to several hospitals, they did not see anything. Before we noticed it, it was too late, and all the 2 kidneys have been damaged already. It's very hard for me, and because of dialysis, even though I'm happy around my friends, but whenever they are doing something that I'm not able to participate in, I can't mind. I feel like I'm left out.
But her optimism shines through the hardship.
I'm in faith 100% that by all means, God is still alive, so I'll do my transplant. I had the money to do it last year, but I did not get a donor. My mom was willing to donate for me, but because of some certain issues, she was not able to donate for me. So now the money is in the hospital, and and I'm still on dialysis.
Behind Rosemary's courage stands a mother carrying a weight few parents should ever bear. Watching her child endure dialysis sessions, hospital visits, and the uncertainty of the future has been deeply painful.
If you have a child complaining of headache, please take him or her to the hospital for full blood tests. I wish I had known earlier.
Like many families facing chronic kidney disease in Ghana, the emotional and financial burden can be overwhelming. Kidney transplants, often the only long-term solution, require a compatible donor, and she's willing to give her life for her child.
I'm feeling fine because how no also. And I did the Oba machine so
I am restless. The issues are many. She's always on machines. When I heard she needed a transplant, I opted to give her one of mine, but after tests, it wasn't possible.
For Rosemary, every day is both a battle and a blessing, until she finds a donor to give her a chance at living fully. She continues to fight with quiet courage.
I always tell myself, even my mother who gave birth to me has not given up on me. What more of God who created me? He has not given up on me, and very soon I'll be out.
Kojo Bafwa Hinkra is convener Dialysis Patients Association.
Out of 10, you get maybe 2 elderly or 3 elderly. The rest are you. I mean, you can get normally from between at the age of 15 to maybe 25 or 30. The youth, you get them. I think just last week, I met a very young girl. Not knowing he has been here for about 2-3 months. So when I saw her, I said, what happened? Hypertensive. She never knew. What is really causing the problem? Because if it is a lifestyle, they are very young. What life have they lived?
Health experts warn that while kidney disease has traditionally been associated with adults, an increasing number of young people in Ghana are now being diagnosed with the condition. Sarah Penkro, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has confirmed that it has received information from relevant authorities in the United Arab Emirates that 2 Ghanaians sustained injuries following a drone incident in the vicinity of Dubai International Airport on the 11th of March 2026. In a statement, the ministry said that the government strongly condemns any act that endangers civilian lives and critical infrastructure, adding that such incidents pose serious risks to public safety and underscore the importance of ensuring the protection of civilians and vital international transport hubs. Ghana's ambassador to the United Arab Emirates led a delegation from the embassy in Abu Dhabi and the consulate in Dubai to visit the 2 injured Ghanaians in hospital. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says their injuries are not critical and full recovery is expected soon. The government urged calm among the public as it continues to extend consular assistance and collaborate closely with host authorities. The ministry said that it is also closely monitoring the situation and will continue to engage with the appropriate authorities as required. We go up north now. A resident of Nakolo Kaporinia, a community in the Kasana-Nankana West District, will now have access to electricity after 10 years without power. This was after they received financial support to extend electricity to the area. The divisional chief of Nakolo has subsequently called on central government to support such district communities in rural areas.
Over the last 10 years, the community has worked through communal efforts to extend electricity from Nakolo Central to Nakolo Kaporinia to improve livelihoods and support dry season farming. The community located near Burkina Faso is without electricity. Responding to a call for support, Caxton Records, an NGO, donated 8,800 to help complete the project. This contribution is aimed at supporting community-led development and encouraging local initiatives that address social challenges. Community leaders believe access to electricity will help boost small businesses, improve education, and enhance agricultural activities. The team was received by the chief of Nakolo, Pe Gideon Aloa, who noted that as a border community with Burkina Faso, the project will help engage the youth and discourage them from being drawn into violent extremist activities.
I am very happy that you responded to our distress call. Now our community can breathe a sign of relief because finally we will be connected to the national grid. We are grateful to Wenawomi Abura for your support. If not, a lot of youth would continue to migrate to neighboring Burkina Faso for greener pastures. We want the central government to turn its attention to this community because we need a lot of development projects here.
Community leaders and residents expressed their gratitude for the support. Leader of the delegation, Raymond Ada, said the organization remains committed to supporting community initiatives and encourage individuals and organizations to contribute to the collective growth of communities.
Few weeks ago, the community has done well. We came to assist them after we saw their development challenges. We believe access to electricity will help boost small businesses, improve education, enhance agricultural activities, while creating opportunities for young people and reducing rural-urban migration. We are also happy that the community has warmly welcomed us to assist them. We want other corporate bodies to emulate this gesture.
Congratulations to them. And that's all for News Morning here on Newsday, on Newday on TV3. My name is Beatrice Edu. Thank you very much for joining us on the program today. Do continue with us on Newday.
NLA 590 Mobile. Today we will discuss how you can win cash by playing 590 on your phone or online. Visit 590mobile.com.gh or dial *959# on any handset or network and choose option 7 on the menu for